What's up, YouTube? This is Mathis97, and welcome back to an episode of WWE 2K14 Universe Mode. This is episode number 43. We're here with Monday Night Raw following the No Way Out pay-per-view, and quite frankly, the most shocking thing in the history of Universe Mode happened last night. The Undertaker won the WWE Championship, but that's not it. He joined the Shield. If you missed No Way Out, be sure to go check it out, because that was one shocking ending to a great pay-per-view. And now we got the Shield, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns coming down to the ring here. Obviously, they've got something to say about it. And I'm just speechless. I'm still speechless after what happened last night at the pay-per-view. So let's see what Dean Ambrose has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw, brought to you by The Shield. Because last Sunday, at the No Way Out pay-per-view, the unthinkable happened. The Undertaker joined The Shield. None of you saw this coming. You all fell for it. Because as you see, this whole scheme has been set in motion since before Night of Champions. After SummerSlam, that six-man tag match, The Undertaker came and consulted The Shield. After losing in the six-man tag, The Undertaker saw how destructive of a force The Shield truly is. And The Undertaker, the man who's 21-0 at WrestleMania, won countless world championships in this business, joined The Shield, but not in front of all of you. No, we had to leave that as a secret. So, what happened? I threw the match at Night of Champions. Come on now. You really think I would lose the WWE Championship to John Cena? John Cena, the man who has claimed himself to be the face of this company. He's been the face of this company, this industry, for a decade. And quite frankly, we're all sick of it. So what I did was I let Cena win. I gave him his 5 seconds of fame as the WWE Champion. And then The Undertaker made his presence known. He made it known to the world that he would go after John Cena's WWE Championship, when in reality, this was the plan all along. I would drop the WWE Championship because, let's face it, I have better things to do than be your champion. The Undertaker, on the other hand, he wanted to be the one to put John Cena down for good. And I think that's appropriate. I mean, look at The Undertaker. Tombstone pile driver. He buries people. He puts them in their graves and sends them to hell. So, you know, I was okay with it. Undertaker being the WWE Champion, that was the plan all along. We had to do something that would catch the attention of all of you. So letting Cena was our pawn the whole time. Letting him become the champion was all just a charade, all a facade to fool each and every one of you. And as if that wasn't enough, I let Undertaker chokeslam me through fire on Main Event last month. You all thought that I was dead. And even if you didn't think that, you guys, I fooled you. You didn't think I was coming back, did you? Well, I'm back, and better than ever. And truly, I was never gone in the first place. And let me tell you something else. The Shield, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and I, we're making it official. Any three of you low-life superstars in the back got a problem with us? You think you can defeat us in a six-man tag team match at the Survivor Series pay-per-view? And come out here and challenge us right now. Because we're just going to make a statement that we are what we say we are. The most dominant faction, not just in the WWE, but of all time. We're the most destructive force in this company, in the history of professional wrestling. So if any 3 superstars in the back think they have what it takes to take down the Shield, then by all means, come out here. Dean. I'll admit it, you got me, man. You got me. I didn't realize that the Undertaker, of all people, would join the Shield. I mean, that just blew my mind. But you made a big mistake, Dean. Because fun and games, it's over now. At the Survivor Series pay-per-view, I'm cashing in my rematch clause on The Undertaker, and I'm going to win back my WWE Championship. Because I was never your pawn. You may say that I was, but I would have beaten you for the WWE Championship anyway, and quite frankly, you never would have stood a chance. But I will say this, I'm not here to challenge you 3, but I do know 3 superstars who are just chomping at the bit and would love to shut you up. Oh really, John? Who do you know in that locker room that can defeat the Shield? Well, let me tell you this. If you want to see the Shield get their asses beat at the Survivor Series, give me a hell yeah. Oh my God. That can only mean one thing. John Cena, he's got 3 superstars. Oh my God, no way. It can't be. Oh my God, it's Stone Cold. Stone Cold Steve Austin is here on Raw. Stone Cold Steve Austin has answered the challenge of the Shield. So, the Shield calling out 3 superstars to a match, an elimination tag team match at Survivor Series, and Stone Cold has answered the challenge. Oh my God, this is a shocking development, even more shocking than the events of No Way Out last night. Stone Cold Steve Austin is here in Universe Mode. He's here on Monday Night Raw. And he's here to challenge the Shield. He's here to accept the Shield's challenge. But who could Stone Cold Steve Austin possibly be teaming up with to take on the Shield? I don't believe it. I don't know what to say. Stone Cold Steve Austin is here in Universe Mode. And apparently, he's looking to challenge the Shield at Survivor Series. But who could Stone Cold possibly be teaming up with? Oh my God. Now The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson now. Why'd I say that? I'm just in so much of a shock right now. First Stone Cold shows up, and now The Rock. The Rock and Stone Cold, arguably, no, not even arguably, the 2 greatest superstars of the Attitude Era, arguably 2 of the greatest of all time. And they're here to accept the Shield's challenge. This is unbelievable, folks. I'm completely speechless right now. I'm just blown away at the fact that The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin are here to answer the Shield's challenge. The Shield is in shock. They've left ringside. They've begun to retreat up the ramps, or up into the crowd. They've left ringside, hopped over the barricade. They're just watching this play out. I mean, we've got The Rock, we've got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Who is the 3rd superstar going to be that could join up with these 2 superstars? But already it looks like the Shield are going to have their hands full come Survivor Series. I guess that's what happens when they... Oh my God! You've got to be kidding me. There's no way. Oh my God! Hulk Hogan! Hulk Hogan is here on Monday Night Raw. Pinch me. I must be dreaming. This can't be reality. Oh my God. The Rock, first Stone Cold, then The Rock, and now Hulk Hogan are here on Monday Night Raw, live on Universe Mode, to accept the challenge of the Shield for a match at Survivor Series. This is unbelievable. I can't believe it. I'm marking out right now. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock What an iconic team that is going to be. And they're here to take on The Shield. The Rock, Stone Cold, and Hulk Hogan, they look just as good as ever. And they're here to accept the challenge of The Shield. They're ready to take on The Shield, and by God, The Shield, they wanted a fight. They're claiming that they're the most dominant force in the history of pro wrestling. Well, they're about to go, oh my God, they're about to be challenged by 3 of the greatest superstars in the history of pro wrestling, arguably. But, no, that's not arguable. They are 3 of the greatest. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. Daniel Bryan obviously knows what he has to say. He's saying no, but he should be saying yes. Because last night, at the No Way Out pay-per-view, Daniel Bryan defeated Chris Jericho in a one-on-one match. Remember on the last episode of Monday Night Raw, Paul Heyman came out and screwed Daniel Bryan. He called a screw job. It's kind of like a Montreal screw job. Jericho had him in an ankle lock. But the point is, Daniel Bryan won. I gotta stop talking. What's Bryan gotta say? Well, if there was ever a more appropriate time, yes! 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 Yep, that's right. Not only did we just see the return of 3 of the greatest superstars in this business, but last night, at the No Way Out pay-per-view, I got what was coming to me. And finally, I have defeated Chris Jericho. This is just the first step in proving that I'm going to do exactly what I said I would do and defeat every single one of CM Punk's opponents from the past year. And by the time I've defeated everybody, I will have earned my match with CM Punk. But the next superstar I'll be facing is going to be the most difficult of them all. And that is the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. I know what you're probably thinking. Look at this kid. Daniel Bryan, he's a B-plus player. Goat-faced, this small superstar, can't be a main eventer in this company, and he thinks he can take on Brock Lesnar. Well, I'll tell you what. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I am the advocate for the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, and the general manager of Monday Night Raw. And alongside me here tonight is another one of my clients, Curtis Axel, the son of Mr. Perfect and the grandson of Larry the Axe Hennig. And Daniel Bryan, what I'm here to tell you is that you will not be facing Brock Lesnar tonight, next week, not even at Survivor Series. I'll tell you this, if you want a match with Brock Lesnar, you're going to have to defeat my client, Curtis Axel, but not tonight. You see, at the Survivor Series pay-per-view, you will challenge my client, Curtis Axel, in a one-on-one match. And if you can defeat Curtis Axel, you'll get your match with Brock Lesnar. I can guarantee you that. But here's the thing, Bryan. You're not going to defeat me, because I am better than perfect. You can't defeat me, Daniel. Like you said, you're a goat-faced troll. You've done nothing in this company in the past year, besides defeat that washed-up has-been Chris Jericho. You don't have what it takes to face Brock Lesnar. You don't have what it takes to defeat me. And you'll realize that at Survivor Series, when I defeat you. Because gracious Paul Heyman has signed me to a contract on Monday Night Raw. And despite anything that went down over on SmackDown, I assure you that my winning ways will continue here on Raw, and it will start at Survivor Series when I beat you in that ring. And then I will go on to become the next WWE Champion. You're just a stepping stone, Bryan. And because I am better than perfect, you don't stand a chance. See you at Survivor Series. And what an episode of Monday Night Raw we have going so far. We have now learned not only that Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin will be taking on The Shield at the Survivor Series pay-per-view, but also John Cena and The Undertaker will be going at it for the WWE Championship. And we have Curtis Axel now taking on Daniel Bryan at the Survivor Series pay-per-view. And if Daniel Bryan can defeat Curtis Axel, then he is set for a match with Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate. But now coming down to the ring, turns out to be Raw's newest acquisition. Yes, at the No Way Out pay-per-view last night, Alberto Del Rio faced off against CM Punk in a match that Paul Heyman put together. And apparently Paul Heyman was so impressed with Del Rio's performance in that matchup, and he liked the aggression that Del Rio showed once the match was over, which in my opinion was a dirty, underhanded trick by Del Rio, delivering a low blow to Punk, who was going over to help him up, showing some respect to Del Rio. And Paul Heyman, obviously something in that match and that performance impressed Paul Heyman enough to trade for Alberto Del Rio. So yes, who was the superstar traded away for Alberto Del Rio? Well, it turns out that Chris Jericho is headed over to SmackDown. The trade was official not long after the No Way Out pay-per-view. Paul Heyman traded away Chris Jericho to SmackDown in order to acquire Alberto Del Rio for the Raw brand. And now Alberto Del Rio's here going one-on-one with Daniel Bryan here tonight on Raw. So, I mean, this has been a very eventful Raw so far. First off, of course, the return of three legends, three of the greatest superstars in pro wrestling of all time, with Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and The Rock. Now we have Alberto Del Rio and Curtis Axel both joining the Raw roster. Of course, Del Rio traded from SmackDown. Curtis Axel had gotten released from SmackDown due to the stipulation of his Intercontinental Championship match with with Ryback a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, where if he lost, his career on SmackDown was over. But that didn't say anything about Raw, and Paul Heyman has brought Curtis Axel now over here to the Raw brand. But anyway, now we got to take a look at the matchup in the ring here. So CM Punk did defeat Del Rio last night at No Way Out. So Daniel Bryan, I guess this goes towards his cause of defeating all of CM Punk's past opponents. And, yeah, we know that Daniel Bryan defeated Chris Jericho at the No Way Out pay-per-view. So Chris Jericho's down, which puts Brock Lesnar next on the list for Daniel Bryan. But he's going to have to go through Curtis Axel at the Survivor Series pay-per-view now in order to get to Brock Lesnar. As Paul Heyman, just the dirty trickster that he is. I mean, Paul Heyman, he is a master manipulator. He's good at mind games, and he's always got some sort of a plan. He's always got something up his sleeve, and he's shown that here tonight. It looked like Daniel Bryan might have been going into a match with Brock Lesnar sometime in the near future, but instead, Paul Heyman hiring Curtis Axel over to the Raw show, and now debuting Curtis Axel against Daniel Bryan. So that's something that should be something to expect to see at the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Daniel Bryan obviously going to be frustrated not getting the matchup against Brock Lesnar. Lesnar was the opponent he wanted, and instead a bit of a letdown getting Curtis Axel. I'm sure this is a letdown for many of the fans of Universe Mode. Of course, all the superstars, or not the superstars, all the fans in the crowd as well, as all of you watching at home, or wherever you may be on the YouTubes. But Daniel Bryan now looking to take out some of his anger and frustration from Paul Heyman. His frustration towards Paul Heyman on Alberto Del Rio here. And Daniel Bryan working on the arm there. As Daniel Bryan, he is a submission expert just like Alberto Del Rio. And Daniel Bryan delivers a knee right to the arm. Actually around where the elbow of Alberto Del Rio, now stomping up on the inside of his shoulder there, or inside of his upper arm. Maybe it's, not shoulder. That I don't think I've ever heard of someone say the inside of their shoulder. That's basically your armpit. More so like, never mind. I'm trying to be too in depth about this. But now Del Rio taking down Daniel Bryan, and we know Del Rio likes to work on the arm in his matches, and that's what he's doing now. Get a little bit of payback towards Daniel Bryan, delivers a knee right to the arm, right around the elbow of Daniel Bryan. And now Bryan and Del Rio trading some kicks here. Just sort of striking each other back and forth. Del Rio! Big enziguri kick to the side of the head of Daniel Bryan. And now stomping right on the back of the arm of Daniel Bryan as Del Rio just trying to wear him down. Set him up for that cross arm breaker submission hold. And now look at this. Got his arm all tied up there. And now with this chin locked in on Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan, can he manage to escape this submission hold? Yes, he gets out of it. But Del Rio now looking to stay on Daniel Bryan, looking to keep control in this one. Has him over there in the turnbuckle. And here's Del Rio with the kick right to the side of the head. That may have just knocked Daniel Bryan's lights out. Del Rio dragging him away from the ropes. Looking to go for a cover here. Could he have just knocked off Daniel Bryan? What a debut to Raw this would be for Del Rio. But no, Daniel Bryan kicks out at a 1 count. And then connects with an elbow right to the chest of Alberto Del Rio, and there's a kick to the leg, dropping Del Rio to his knees. And now Daniel Bryan firing away with 3 kicks to the chest, and 1 more right to the head of Alberto Del Rio. And Daniel Bryan now not going for the cover off of that, but Del Rio stacked up on his shoulders, looking to knock off Daniel Bryan here. Now Daniel Bryan reversing into a roll-up of his own, and Del Rio kicking out at 2. And Bryan, he just got his kick caught there, and Del Rio now, cross arm breaker is locked in on Daniel Bryan, but luckily for Daniel Bryan, he was able to get his foot over to the ropes and force a rope break. And Del Rio, look at this, getting right back on that arm, showing his aggressiveness. And Daniel Bryan now takes him down with a hip toss. And Daniel Bryan now, Irish whips him off the ropes there and then takes him down with an arm drag. And Daniel Bryan now picking up Alberto Del Rio. There's a kick right to the leg. And a shining wizard right to the face. Daniel Bryan may have just knocked Del Rio out, but no, Del Rio immediately back up to his feet. And here's Daniel Bryan now. Del Rio connects with a shot right to the face. And there follows it up with 2 more clotheslines. Ducks one of Daniel Bryan. And tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio hooks the leg. Could this be it? That's 1, 2. No, Daniel Bryan manages to stay alive. Kicks out of that one. Del Rio here puts him over into the corner once again. And Del Rio now. Nice counter by Daniel Bryan. And Bryan now delivering some kicks right to the arm of Alberto Del Rio. And now Daniel Bryan delivers a boot right to the face. Nice face wash there. And now Daniel Bryan, he's setting up Alberto Del Rio. And he's going for the yes lock here. Got the arm trapped. And now the face lock. Daniel Bryan's got the yes lock locked in. Del Rio, will he be forced to tap out here? Del Rio, he's trying to crawl. He's trying to crawl to the ropes. He's got to force the break to get out of this one. Del Rio, he's crawling. And Daniel Bryan relinquishes. Del Rio forces Daniel Bryan to relinquish the hold. And now Del Rio, once again, cross arm breaker locked in. And once again, just too close to the ropes. Daniel Bryan once again gets a rope break and avoids the cross arm breaker. And now Daniel Bryan could be looking for his 2nd win, but Del Rio with a nice counter. Tossing him over there into the corner. Bryan now delivers a punch to the face of Del Rio. Has him over there in the corner. And here comes Daniel Bryan now. This is vintage Daniel Bryan right here. Daniel Bryan runs off the ropes, ducks a clothesline, and elbow right to Alberto Del Rio. And now Daniel Bryan going to the top rope. And he's going for that diving headbutt here. And he connects right to Alberto Del Rio. And Daniel Bryan, he's looking to end it here. He's looking to finish off Alberto Del Rio. Welcome to Raw, Alberto Del Rio. Knee to the face by Daniel Bryan. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Daniel Bryan defeats Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio even got busted open off of that knee. So that's a bit of a welcome present from Daniel Bryan. Welcome to Monday Night Raw, Alberto Del Rio. Daniel Bryan gets the victory here tonight on what has been a very hectic Raw so far. Daniel Bryan, that was a pretty good match put on by these 2 superstars. So back and forth, both superstars able to break out of their opponents' finishing submission holds. Daniel Bryan had a bit of an assist from the ropes there, and in the end, takes Del Rio down with the knee to the face. And that was it. That was all she wrote for Alberto Del Rio. And Daniel Bryan victorious here tonight on Monday Night Raw. But can he keep up his winning ways? It seems like that victory over Chris Jericho has definitely given Daniel Bryan a confidence boost. Much needed confidence boost. And now a victory over Alberto Del Rio to follow it up. We'll see how he will fare heading into the Survivor Series pay-per-view. But now it's finally time. I know we're like 17 and a half minutes into the video, but time to take a look at the match card here. Darren Young and Titus and the other primetime players taking on the Wyatt family. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Dean Ambrose taking on Antonio Cesaro. Big E Langston taking on Rob Van Dam. And in the main event, it is The Undertaker versus his brother, Kane. So we're going to go ahead and simulate this one. And the Wyatt family pick up the victory over the primetime players. And Rob Van Dam defeats Big E Langston. Battle of the Singlets right there. And Antonio Cesaro defeats Dean Ambrose. So Dean Ambrose may have been a triumphant return on the mic. Not so much in the ring as Cesaro gets a victory. But Cesaro, we know, in the mixed tag team match on the No Way Out pre-show, he did lose. He got pinned by Seth Rollins, so that's a bit of retribution there for Cesaro. And we also saw the Wyatt family, they're your new tag team champions, so that was a good victory for them over arguably one of the top contenders in that tag team division, the Primetime Players. But now it is time for our main event of the evening, which is between the WWE, the new WWE Champion, The Undertaker. He's going to be going one-on-one with his brother, the Big Red Monster, Kane. And The Undertaker, well, look at this. He's even donned a bit of a Shield-esque attire. As you can see coming out here, no longer in his usual cloak and all those garments that he would normally wear. The Undertaker, bit more resemblance. His attire resembles the Shield now by the looks of things, and openly displaying that WWE Championship around his waist, which he won with assistance from the Shield. As we know, The Undertaker was one-on-one with John Cena inside the Hell in a Cell last night with the title on the line, and Dean Ambrose came out from under the ring, made a shocking return to the WWE, and helped The Undertaker get the victory over John Cena. As we saw, Cena had hit an attitude adjustment. Looked like he might have been coming close to a victory. We never know. Taker could have kicked out. But it looked like things were coming to an end for The Undertaker. It looked like Cena was about to retain the title. But Dean Ambrose then popped out from under the ring, hit a few finishers on John Cena, and then just watched as The Undertaker got back up to his feet, delivered the Tombstone Piledriver, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker was your new WWE Champion. And it was a no disqualification match, of course, being inside the Hell in a Cell. So, I mean, a lot went down in that matchup. I mean, the side of the cage was broken. Undertaker fell off the top of the Hell in a Cell, got put through an announce table. So Kane, this is a good opportunity for Kane. We know he's defeated John Cena at the time that Cena was WWE Champion. But if Kane could defeat The Undertaker here, his brother, I'd have to say Kane's #1 contender for that WWE title. I mean, not necessarily, of course, because Cena cashing in his rematch clause at Survivor Series, but of course Kane would be right up there, and possibly for TLC. I mean, if he gets a victory, I mean, he has a win over Cena. If he can defeat Undertaker here tonight, I'd have to say Kane is almost guaranteed a WWE Championship match at TLC. But, I mean, of course, that's a lot to say. Kane could get injured and, like, break his neck or something. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But, I mean, it all but guarantees him a match at TLC. I mean, because he's got a victory over the then champion, now former champion, John Cena. And if he could get the win over the current champion, The Undertaker, no matter who wins at Survivor Series, Kane could say that he had beaten both of them. So, I don't know. If he can defeat Undertaker here tonight, he's definitely earned himself. He can definitely call himself one of the at least top 2 contenders in the WWE Championship division. But as for The Undertaker, he's still going to be feeling the effects of that Hell in a Cell matchup. He did take a lot of punishment from John Cena. And, I don't know. We'll have to see how The Undertaker will fare in this matchup. But as we can see now, donning a bit of the Shield attire. I want to know what you guys think of this attire. I could probably go back and make a bit more changes to it if there's anything you feel that I should add. But I kind of browsed around the created stuff, and I thought this was the closest that I could come to a Shield attire. But what do you guys think of this attire? Let me know down in the comments section below if you're liking the attire. If you, I don't know, what are your thoughts on the Undertaker joining the Shield? I know I'm still in shock, but the Undertaker obviously did what he felt was best for his career at this point in time, and it won him a WWE Championship, so you can't really doubt him in that aspect. But now he's got to go one-on-one with his brother Kane, and so far it's been pretty back and forth. No one superstar has had control for too long in this matchup, and now Kane, big Irish whip sending Undertaker bouncing out of the turnbuckle, and now a reverse DDT planting Undertaker on the back of his head into the mat, but Taker now raking the eyes of Kane through that mask. And look at Kane, look at the power, just slamming Undertaker down to the mat and now delivering a leg drop. But Taker now back to his feet. Nice diving clothesline, connects, taking down Kane. And this is a bit of a clash of the Titans. I mean, we have two superstars here. The Brothers of Destruction facing off. At one point, they were teaming up, if we remember back at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. Apparently, from the mouth of Dean Ambrose, from the words of Dean Ambrose, he said that that's where it all started with The Undertaker in his quest to joining the Shield. Back at SummerSlam, when it was Kane, Taker, and Daniel Bryan versus the Shield in a six-man tag team match, Undertaker got speared by Roman Reigns, took the pinfall in that one, and of course, Brothers of Destruction and Brothers of Destruction and Daniel Bryan were on the losing end of that one. But now, Taker has aligned himself with the Shield, so this is a completely different, the championship picture, just the whole scene of Raw has completely changed. Since, wait a minute, look at the Undertaker. Undertaker with an elbow drop through the announce table. Oh my, I don't even know. The Undertaker, not too often do we see the Undertaker go off the top rope, but he just took an elbow drop. He just drove his elbow right through Kane, through that announce table, as I'm trying to recompose myself, try to figure out how to speak again. But I completely lost my train of thought there. I apologize for that. Taker now going to have to get back into the ring here. That's a 6 count. Taker now enters back in the ring, and I have to wonder, wait a minute, Undertaker looking to finish off Kane right here. Tombstone pile driver, leaping one at that. That's got to be it. Crosses the arms. It's over. 1, 2, 3. No! Kane. Kane stays alive. Kane kicks out. And, I mean, you got to think, Kane, he did defeat Cena, like I said. So, Kane has proven that he can take punishment and that he would be a worthy contender for that WWE Championship. And he's proving it to his brother right now, as Kane now picks up Taker by the throat. Taker now trying to toss him over to the outside. But yeah, what has Kane got to be thinking about this new decision by his brother Undertaker, by this transformation that Undertaker has undergone? But Kane now, sidewalk slam, taking down the Undertaker. And we know what Kane has said in the past when Undertaker was in his, American Badass phase, that Kane wasn't too fond of that change. He wasn't a big fan of it, that the Undertaker wasn't the monster that he used to be. But now that Taker has joined the Shield, what does that mean? What is this new chapter for the Undertaker, and what is Kane's opinion on it? But Undertaker now, there's an Irish whip, but Kane counters with a nice DDT, spiking Undertaker's head into the mat. And now there's Undertaker, delivers a shot to the face of Kane, and now a DDT of his own, taking Kane down. And now picking Kane up by the throat here. Very similar movesets for these two superstars, as they're former tag team partners. And look at this, Undertaker, Kane gets taken down with his last ride. Or Kane may have just taken his last ride, as Undertaker could that do it. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. The Undertaker gets the win over his brother Kane. And I mean, Kane, it was enough for him to kick out of the Tombstone pile driver. There was no way that he would be able to kick out of the last ride. And the Undertaker, as we saw, look at this right here, that elbow drop through the announce table. Kane took a lot of punishment in this matchup, and he took it to the Undertaker. As we can see here, there was Undertaker setting up that Tombstone pile driver. But, I mean, Kane took a lot of punishment, and by the time that last ride came around, there was no way that Kane was going to be able to kick out of that one. But as we can see, well, we didn't get to see the replay, but just seeing the height on that last ride powerbomb by The Undertaker. And Undertaker, big victory, coming off the No Way Out pay-per-view. Here's John Cena now, out to show Undertaker, just play a little bit of mind games here with the master manipulator, The Undertaker. Just basically say, hey, I'm coming for that championship. And we'll have to see at the Survivor Series, will things play out as they did at the No Way Out pay-per-view? Will Taker be able to retain, or will John Cena recapture the gold? As we can see, Undertaker and John Cena set to face each other in a title match soon. So I want to thank you all for watching. Keep on YouTubing.